Welcome back to Scotty's Hobbies. Been doing a bunch of research, trying to email people. I emailed the EPA, emailed CARB, emailed BAR, emailed a ton of people trying to get some clarity on what is actually going on, to have somebody give me some clarity of what I could pass on to you guys of what's really going to happen. Because a lot of you guys think smog is going to go away, or we're going to start smogging the federal standards here in California. And in 2 or 3 weeks, 4 months, next year, you guys are going to be like, what's going on? It's still the same thing. I don't know. But some guys say there's no more smog. And it's still happening. Well, President Trump yesterday, after he signed the CRAs, released a statement, and I'm going to go over that just a little bit and maybe provide some clarity, try to explain it to you guys of what's really going on. And I know you guys are like, you're wrong, you're an idiot. And it's just because it's real information that you don't want to hear. You want to hear smog's going away, you're not going to have to do this, CARB is going to be defunded, yada, yada, yada. It's all a bunch of BS. This is the type of stuff that happens. It's the ebb and flow in California. Nothing is going to change, really. But let me try to bring some clarity to you. Before we go too far, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the ring bell, check out the video library, all that good stuff. Now, the statement from President Trump. Statement on signing HJ Res 87, 88, and 89. Gives you a whole paragraph of what the rules were, or the actual House Joint Resolutions, and it seems like there's a lot to them, but when you understand what a CRA is, each CRA was pertaining to one waiver each, not a ton of waivers or a ton of rules. Each one got rid of one rule or one waiver each that was granted by the Biden era, EPA for waivers to California. It's not a whole bunch of rules. It's one rule per waiver, okay? Now, on the second paragraph, these bipartisan measures prevents California's attempt to impose a nationwide electric vehicle mandate and to regulate national fuel economy by regulating carbon emissions. Because of the joint resolutions I signed today, California's Advanced Clean Cars 2, so that's HJ Res 88, make sure you take note, Advanced Clean Trucks, that's HJ Res 87, and then Omnibus Low NOx Programs, which is HJ Res 89, see, did you hear that? One waiver per House Joint Resolution, are fully and expressively preempted by the Clean Air Act and cannot be implemented. Not that all of the waivers are gone, nothing else. Do you think, you really think if Trump was saying the smog in California has to be to federal standards, you think he'd be holding out that information in here? But he specifically stated that each one of these waivers is going to go away. Scrolling down. And actually, before we go too far, in the description below, I'm going to post a link to the CARB links for each one of these waivers. The Advanced Clean Cars 2, the Omnibus Low NOx, and the Advanced Clean Trucks. And you'll notice, if you read those, each one of those was coming up with new rules to reduce greenhouse gases, to reduce NOx, to cause manufacturers of vehicles to implement more emissions components on the vehicles to reduce emissions. That's what he's talking about, that they're not going to be able to create their own emission standards, California that is. And also the EV mandate was in the Advanced Clean Cars 2 waiver, as well as the LEV 3, I believe it is, or LEV 4 emission standards. You guys really need to go do some research. I know you guys don't want to hear this, and it's the worst thing to you guys, but you guys need to really educate yourself. Please, please, please stop listening to all the hoopla out there. Now, reading on. As Congress's joint resolutions make clear, California's attempt to impose an electric vehicle mandate, regulate national fuel economy, and regulate greenhouse gas emissions are not eligible for waiver preemption under Section 209 of the Clean Air Act. This provision of the Clean Air Act authorizes EPA to grant waivers to California to address only compelling and extraordinary localized issues. It can never again be misused to regulate greenhouse gas emissions, which inherently do not have localized effect and much less compelling and extraordinary local effects, or vehicle emissions across the nation. Again, you guys, make sure you read this. I'm going to put a link to this in the description so you guys can get an idea of everything. There's a lot that's not going to change in the next few months, and you guys are going to be like, what is going on? But this other guy said it's going away. It's immediate. It shouldn't be. The California is breaking the rules. Oh my God. It's not. Under Section 209 of the Clean Air Act, which the federal law Clean Air Act, Section 209 gives California the ability to come up with their own emission standards as long as it's localized standards, not affecting the whole United States. Under the Congressional Review Act, the EPA cannot approve any future waivers that are substantially the same. Not that it can't approve any of them, just ones that are not substantially the same, as those disapproved in the joint resolutions. The core of the waivers at issue are their authorization of California to regulate greenhouse gas and NOx emissions from internal combustion engines and to impose what amounts to an electric vehicle mandate across the nation. Again, you guys, just take the time, do your research, and come up with your own conclusions. Be careful out there. When nothing changes in a few weeks, don't say I didn't tell you. And I will be replying to every single one of you people that have commented on all my videos in the last month saying that I'm wrong. I will be checking in with you guys. I'll also be checking in with Smog Shops on a weekly basis, trying to figure out what has changed, if anything has changed, and I'll keep you guys posted. Stay educated, come up with your own conclusion of what's happening. Do some research, you guys. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. I'll see you guys in the next, hopefully helpful video.